present administration and our current leader, who's doing one hell of a job. So, you know, those years when we were government were really very exciting. And Dave Barrett and I both went to the same high school on the east side, Britannia High School. He was a couple of years ahead of me, and was one of those, when 2 years ahead of you in high school might have been 10 years. But we were good buddies. And I guess I have to tell you, the day after the election, how we got together. That morning I was in my family home on the east side, and I'm listening to Jack Webster, who was the open mouth then, like Christy Clark was. She's still an open mouth. Yeah, they had to go with it. But at any rate, somebody phones into a Webster show and said, oh, this is a terrible thing. You know, the socialists are inside the gates now. And so Webster says, well, she says, can't they do something about it? Couldn't they have a meeting at the Vancouver Club and annul the election? That's the way it was. Right after that, I got a call from Dave. Hey, Bob, we did it. We got to get together. Yeah, I think so, Dave. He said, I think you and I are the transition committee. And he said, I'll be around your house in half an hour. So he came around, and I'd been sort of writing transition on a big blank brown envelope in terms of what could be done in managing the transition. And so he came and he said, oh, you've been doing work. I said, yeah. He says, great. He says, well, we'll go and celebrate down where my dad always used to take me. And Dave's dad was a greengrocer right at Howell Street grounds off in Highland Park. And everybody loved him because he gave stuff away free to people in the neighborhood. He says, you know, on my birthdays, my dad would take me down to the only cafe down at Carroll and Hastings. It's just been picked up by the Portland Hotel, and the seahorse that was on it is being rehabbed as ancient neon, which I knew as a kid. And so we go along Carroll Street, and in those days, it was kind of there weren't many drugs, at least not that I was aware of, but there was a lot of booze. And so a lot of people recovering, the old boys were recovering in the various doorways as we walked along Carroll Street. And all of a sudden these guys were kind of waking up. And they were looking up, and they saw me and Dave walking along Carroll Street, going to the Only Cafe. And they go, hey Davey, good for you, good for you. And we heard it all the way along Carroll Street as we went to the Only. And it was there that we actually drafted a lot of the programs for the incoming government in the back corner of the Only Cafe. Anyway, the stories are boundless. When I worked on transition for the Harcourt government, it was a 2-week exercise at Robson Square with a whole team of experts and everything else. And